Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. How's it going today? I'm back. I'm live, getting ready here for the Thursday edition of Traveling with Bruce, the 5 o'clock edition. I'm back on in 3 hours at 8 o'clock for trivia tonight. Tonight, Donald Trump trivia. Get ready. Oh, it's going to be controversial. Oh, it's just going to be so political. It's not going to be what. Just having fun. I've been watching TV all day. I don't know about you guys, but I've been watching TV all day today. This congressional hearing thing with this FBI agent. Oh, man, am I loving this stuff. It's just so much fun. Oh, I got to tell you, I love that agent. I think that guy's great. He's just sitting there. You just ask me anything you want. I'm not budging off my position. These guys aren't budging off of theirs, and they're just, oh my goodness, what a wonderful waste of American taxpayer money to watch on live television. But you got to love it. If you're CNN, you see MSNBC or these networks that are carrying this stuff live, this is fantastic. You don't have to pay your anchors to do anything today. You don't have to pay your writers to do anything today. You just get all this free television from the Congress. It's absolutely fantastic. It's cheap. You just put it on the air. Is it any wonder Time Warner wants to buy CNN? This is a good business. This is such an easy business to run on some of these shows. You just let them go at it, and just captivating television for the viewers out there. Doesn't get anything done. Doesn't make life better. It doesn't put people to work. It doesn't change the security of the world. It just don't even think it changes a single vote. I don't think it does anything. It's just watching people go at each other. Americans' worst enemies are themselves. It's just unbelievable. Americans attacking Americans. It's unbelievable. It's come down to that in the last couple of years. Fascinating to me to watch it. Not to say Canada hasn't got its own problems. Canadians attack Canadians as well, politically and in many other ways. It's just the human nature. You fight the enemy you can see or you think you have, and then you go at it. But boy, what a day. I'm just sitting on the couch watching this stuff and going, I can't turn this stuff off. This is riveting. Then when CNN, they actually cut away from the political coverage to show Donald Trump arriving for dinner with Elizabeth May, I was upset. I thought, no, don't do that. Go back to that hearing. It's way more entertaining. Do I want to see the tuxedo-laden people and women in evening gowns shaking hands and doing this political protocol crap? I don't care about this stuff. It's irrelevant to my life. But so is this other stuff. So just crazy stuff. I'm trying to do a YouTube show here talking about cruise ships, and I'm watching this stuff on TV. I'm sorry, what can I say? Anyway, welcome to the show. I hope I'm not getting a bunch of you guys riled up out there. I know most of my viewers are from the United States. I have viewers from the United Kingdom, from Australia, from Canada, from New Zealand, of course. I've got viewers from Venezuela and other countries around the world who catch me live or they catch me on this show on a rerun. And I want to say thank you, every one of you guys, for tolerating this guy in his living room talking about whatever the topic of the day is. I try to keep it as happy as possible and cheerful and light. There's enough crap out there. But sometimes you just got to say, oh, what's going on out there? It's just crazy. It's just insane. But anyway, what can I say? Today is my second last show for a couple of days. I'm on today at 5 right now. I'm on tonight at 8. But I'm not on tomorrow. Those of you who do not know, I'm not on tomorrow, Friday. I'm not on Saturday. And Sunday I get off. I usually take off anyway. So I'm back on the air Monday at 5 o'clock. And the reason for the next 3 days is my wife, Jennifer, and I, my Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife and I, are heading to Calgary, Alberta by car to spend a day or two with our daughter to visit with her. And quite looking forward to that. It's the last weekend of the Calgary Stampede, the greatest outdoor show on earth. And no, I will not be going to it. I don't have any interest in going to that at all. If you want to see what it's like, just do a YouTube video. You can see it all. Many people have done videos about the outdoor. It's like a state fair. For those of you in the United States, it's like a big old state fair, but a Western kind of version of it with a rodeo. And that's what that's all about. The city does get all dressed up and decorated for the event, which is wonderful. It's the best time of the year for the weather, generally speaking, this 2 weeks in July when they host this event. But it just happens to be coincidental that we picked this time of the year, this particular moment, to go see our daughter in Calgary. And so that's how it's going down. So I'm looking forward to catching up with her and see what's happening. Anyway, there you go. This channel continues to grow. Today, July the 12th, makes this channel today 11 months old. Today, this is an 11-month-old YouTube channel. July the 11th, 2018. I started August 12th, 2017, doing YouTube videos for the very first time without any experience, with no idea. Let's say what I know now versus what I knew then. What I knew then would be 10% of what I know now. And what I knew then, I thought I had done a lot of research on it. I thought I had really investigated the ins and outs of being a YouTuber. I thought I was, yeah, I'm ready to go. But oh my, as each day and week went by, I learned something new and something new and something new. And I figured out pretty quickly within a few weeks, you got to wear a couple of hats when you're a YouTuber. You cannot just be a YouTube creator and make a video, post it, and watch it soar to the stratosphere. No, you have got to learn how to promote your channel on other social media. And you have to constantly be on top of your viewers' likes and dislikes, and your what videos work for you and what topics work for you and don't work for you. And you have to, sometimes you get lucky, you catch a topic that people like, that you like, they like you talking about, and you got to do additional videos on that topic. It might be, I think the first experience I had in that happened to be when I did a video about the hurricanes in the Caribbean. I realized that, oh my goodness, talking about Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Maria, Hurricane Hugo, I'm trying to remember all the names. Of course, they go alphabetically. I realized that my numbers would go up. Whenever I talked about cruise ships, my view numbers would go up. People were interested in me talking about going cruising and how to be a smarter cruiser and so on. And so I began to figure out, oh, okay, Brucey boy, go where they want you to go, and don't go where they don't want you to go, and you won't be wasting your time, and you'll be engaging them for what they want to see here and whatever. But it also didn't occur to me until, well, it kind of hit me by about the middle of November. It began to make sense that I had decided then that I was going to do a video every day. I was going to do a sit-down video once a day, daily videos, and didn't know what the topics would be. I figured I'll figure it out when I get there, because what am I going to talk about tomorrow? I don't know. We'll see what's happening. And I noticed after about a week or two of doing that, I realized people like it when I talk about cruise ships every day. And I started following the cruise ship news area and trying to figure out what's going on every day in the cruise line business, because there's a lot. And I found it interesting. I think you do. And I think it was December the 13th, I hit 100 subscribers after a bit of a run up the week before. I was in the 70s and then into the 80s and 90s. All of a sudden I was approaching 100 subscribers. And it really caught the imagination of the viewers who were watching with me at the time. And then through Christmas, we hit 150, and then early January, 200 plus. And it was January the 6th, I went live for the first time, and I've been going live ever since. And I thought at first I would go live once or twice a week. And then I realized I have so much going on. There's so much news going on. I can go live almost every day. It's just unbelievable what's going on out there. And marry that with just general discussion of what we want to talk about on the cruise side and everything else. And it just morphed into 8 live shows a week, Monday to Friday at 5 o'clock, Tuesdays, Thursdays, trivia shows at 8, and Saturdays at 2 Eastern. Wow, it's just unbelievable. And I'm still making videos on top of that. So how busy am I now compared to when I started? Whoa, a whole lot busier. Am I more effective at it? Yes. Am I more efficient at it? Yes. I get 10 times the amount of work done now that I did when I first started, because I didn't know anything about what I had to do. And a lot of you out there have grown with me throughout this whole process. A lot of you started watching me in December, January, February, and have stuck with me ever since. Here we are in July. And here we go. We just keep on going down the road. And I've had people come, I've had people go, I've had new people coming in, some people coming back around. It's just the way it is. YouTube is a huge community. I am still a micro channel, followed by a micro number of people, you guys, you great people. And yet I'm slowly growing the channel out. And the hope I have is that as the months go by, the growth rate will just continue to pile on. And this channel will grow and grow and allow me to keep doing what I do. And as almost all of you know who are regulars of mine, you all know, this is my full-time job. I put in my 10, 12 hours a day of work into this channel, loving it, and getting a lot of love back, which I do appreciate. Occasionally I get the haters. Occasionally I'll get a couple comments where people going, not so crazy about what you do and how you do what you do, but generally speaking, people are going, you know, he's just a single guy doing the best he can in front of a camera. He doesn't have a crew of 15 people. We like his style. We like his honesty. We like his approach. And I thank you very much. It gives me something to do every day. I love doing it. And it's great. I want to be on cruise ships going forward with you folks. I want to be doing meet and greet cruises. I want to be doing reports from cruise ships, talking about ports of call, talking about this new vessel, this refurbished ship, whatever it might be, because I love cruising. I love to travel, and I want to do a bunch of travel while I still can. I'm young enough to and healthy enough to definitely get out there. Jen is willing to come. She's saying, we can afford it, let's do it. And the only way to afford it is to grow this channel's subscribers and views and revenues. And speaking of revenues, it comes from all kinds of places. I have, like most YouTubers who are serious about the craft, we find ways to monetize what it is we do. And because of you guys, I've been encouraged and I've been rewarded with several layers of monetization. The number one layer is YouTube itself, which has found it in their hearts to remonetize this guy's channel after taking me off monetization back in February the 20th. I got discontinued as a monetized channel until I was reviewed. Should have taken a week. It took 120 days, and I was remonetized about three or so weeks ago, and about $4 a day seemed to be rolling in from advertising revenue from YouTube, which is great. Does it let me live? No, it helps. $4 a day is $4 a day. But I got to grow that, and that's coming from additional views and more subscribers and a growing channel. Second area of income I get is from what I created about 2 or 3 months ago, which is Traveling with Bruce merchandise. Traveling with Bruce, RedBubble, the company RedBubble, allows me to send them logos like this, and they will put it on anything. They'll put it on about 40 different products that they offer, from T-shirts to sweatshirts to coffee mugs to travel mugs to stickers to spiral notebook covers to have this stuff on it, clocks, scarves, pillows, pillowcases, unbelievable. Even a quilt, a cover for a quilt you can get. I can't believe it. Would anyone do that? I don't know why, but they do. And I go, thank you so very, very much. I'm just checking my thing here. Oh my goodness, someone just sent me some money. Oh my God, thank you. I'll get to that. I so appreciate it. Thank you guys. Anyway, RedBubble. RedBubble has helped me make some money. It's about $100, $120 a month that sort of comes in. It varies. I'm kind of hoping that a lot of you folks are thinking about Christmas time for your favorite TWB fan, your Traveling with Bruce fan. I'm kind of hoping that there are relatives of yours and friends of yours who know you're watching me that are thinking about getting you something with TWB on it. And I'm crossing my fingers that November and December will be really good. I'm really hoping, and that is why all these new logos keep coming onto my channel on the TWB site at RedBubble. I must have 25, 20, 30 logos on there now. Pick one you like and knock yourself out and grab yourself something, or for a friend or relative that you know is watching. That would be tremendous. People telling me they're wearing this out on the street, they're wearing this at their grocery store, they're wearing this on cruises, and they're helping promote my channel. I cannot thank you enough for that. I really am just honored. That's why my face isn't on this shirt. You don't see my picture on there. Are you kidding me? I don't want to scare people on the street. There are children out there, for crying out loud. We can't have that. That would be terrible. So TWB is enough. We'll just do the logo thing. The third area of income that's been coming in is from Amazon. My link that I have below, the affiliate link, people have been going to that, and occasionally they buy something on Amazon and they use the Traveling with Bruce link to do a purchase, and I get little royalties from Amazon for that. Lately, it's a bit slower than it first started because, of course, at the beginning, it's kind of exciting. Right now, it's just a low, slow growth. But any of you who are going to Amazon, I appreciate it very much. Whenever you do, you use my link down below and you pick something up. Amazon Prime Day is coming in 4 days. Monday is the beginning of Amazon Prime. Monday and Tuesday, I believe, are the 2 days. And I am crossing my fingers that a lot of you are already Prime members and yet you're scheming for something, a deal on Prime Day. I'm hoping that's happening, but I have no idea until I see it. I see it. I've been trying to promote Prime Day on my Facebook page and on my group Facebook page for Traveling with Bruce, and I can only just sit back and go, it's out of my hands. If people are using my link to go on to Amazon Prime Shopping Day, oh, that would be wonderful. If you folks out there could convince 10 people you know to all of them use Bruce's link, the Traveling with Bruce, the TWB affiliate link to shop on Amazon, that would be money from heaven and from left field. That would really be wild. But I can only ask and leave it in your capable hands. All right, the other area is Patreon. A few folks make a donation to my channel every month through Patreon, although I don't do much on Patreon to promote it. I talk about it very occasionally, but there are a few of you who have this monthly contribution that comes in through Patreon. I appreciate it. About 90% of those funds come to me. I love it. It's just a few extra bucks. I thank you very much, but I don't have time to really dedicate myself to Patreon's the project of Patreon. It can be incredibly intense as far as how much work you have to do to run it, and I just don't have the time. I'd rather put it into this channel for you guys. And then it comes, the last thing I'll mention is where I get most of my funding from. I get most of my funding directly from my viewers, straight on. I get accused of asking too much, but I cannot ignore the fact where my bread is buttered. I guess is the only way I can say it. People who watch me on this show or watch the reruns or watch my videos, they hear me talk on my live streams about how funding is everything for a YouTuber, especially a full-timer like myself. And without your direct contributions, I'd have been off the air a long time ago, because the advertising isn't going to pay it. The affiliate marketing helps, this marketing helps, but the majority of my funding, I got to say 70% of the funding I get has to be from donations from viewers directly. And I have mentioned in the last few months, please, if you are going to donate to me, any amount you want, I would prefer it that it would be done on my PayPal account, which is that donation button I have on my homepage. Why? Because during the show right now, you can send me money if you want through YouTube on Super Chat. You can hit that $sign and send me $2, $5, whatever you want. Doesn't matter. $100, $1,000, $1 million. It doesn't matter. The reality is that 30% of it goes off the top to handle it, and I get 70% of the proceeds. And I only get proceeds from YouTube once a month. Usually about the third week of each month is when YouTube pays out its funding. So my advertising money and Super Chat money all gets put in one pot, and I get a deposit sent to me once a month. So if you make a contribution to me on the 25th of the month, I don't get that money for a month because it has to go through the whole cycle, and it takes a long time. However, if you do make a contribution to my channel through PayPal, which most of you are doing, which I, again, really appreciate it. One, I get 94 or 95% of the proceeds, depending on the exchange rate of the day and all that. Two, it's instantaneous. It hits my email immediately, and within 3 minutes, I could theoretically transfer the funds directly to a bank account if I wanted to. It's just right there, right now, and I can't thank you enough for that. I really do appreciate it, and I hate to. I don't want to harp on it, but I have to. I have to be upfront with you and honest. This is how I survive to this point, and the hope I have is I can increase my viewership by tenfold. And that'll take the pressure off of my viewers to donate directly to me, that the advertising will build, the affiliate will build, this will build, and the direct contributions, so or whatever coming in, it just all adds up to allow me and Jen to hit the road and get out there and see the world a little bit, travel with you folks, see you in person, do these meet and greets. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I am stoked about it. I see how other channels grow, and it's possible to grow on YouTube quite nicely. I'm a tiny channel. For me to go to 20,000 subscribers, not a big deal. 200,000 subscribers, it's doable. Not in 6 months, but it's doable. And I want to grow to become one of the largest YouTubers out there in this segment, if I could, with your permission and your help and promotion. So thank you all so so much. The comments have been coming in while I've been yapping away, which is what happens here. I thank all of you for joining me today and talking. I will say hi to you in just a moment. Quickly, I want to say a couple of thank yous. Yesterday, I got a donation on this show right at the end of the show, and I didn't see it. It was snuck in there on PayPal. Peter Heckema, yet again, sent me a donation. And Peter, I thank you so much. You're one of my most loyal followers, and I am so appreciative of your of you watching my shows and following my channel. I'm just desperately looking to see if your name is even here. Are you even here today? I don't see your name yet. Normally, you're one of the first guys to sign in and say hi, but this particular day, I don't see you here. But if you're watching this rerun, Peter Heckema, thank you again for your contribution. Number 2, Robert Brandt in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Robert, I have got to meet you. I got to shake your hand. Thank you so much for your contributions to my channel. I know you're relatively new to my channel, and I love having you here. It's fantastic. It's been just great. You have sent me a number of donations as well, and I thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. And I just got to take a peek. Clifford, okay, Cliff, you did it again. Jim Thomas just sent me another donation on PayPal as well. Jim, you too. Your consistency on sending donations to me, I cannot thank you enough. I thank you so much. I love it, and of course, it just helps so much. These 3 gentlemen here. This is throwing gas money at my at my car, so I can get to Calgary and back and do some shopping at Costco while we're up there. It's just wonderful. Thank you, all of you. Whatever amount you send me, I thank you very, very much. And I'm not going to talk about that anymore today. Let's say hi to everybody. Let me move my camera in here so that I can put my phone on my computer right here. And let's say hi to everyone right now and get into the topic du jour and whatever you guys want to talk about today. Excuse me. Robert Brandt was signing in first at 4:30 today. Hi, Bruce and everyone. 87 in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. He's about to get some merchandise from his son, who's bringing it down from Philadelphia. I think, is that Saturday? Is that when he's in? I can't remember. He's about to get some stuff. I can't wait to see your photos of that merchandise. Thank you, Robert. Richard C., hi there. 83 Fahrenheit in Philly. Richard C., welcome back, pal. Welcome back to the show. Tom Henry, early bird gets the worm. Tom Henry threw a thumbs up at me already. Another great supporter of this channel. Thank you, Tom, for everything. Robert Grant, always my pleasure, Bruce. Love the show. Thank you very much. Tom Henry, 88 Fahrenheit, Richmond. Right on. Wes Morrison, 99, and Drew Braunfeld's another loyal follower. Thank you, Wes, for all of your support. Wendy, oh my gosh, Wendy Thompson, I love you. 96 in Jefferson City, Missouri. Hi, everyone. Hi, Bruce. We're in the capital of Missouri today. Welcome, Wendy, to the show. And thank you for all your support and you following me too all the time. And I know you're headed to Ocala, Florida. That's the area in which she is moving to, and she's going to be a Floridian going forward, driving the cruise ships. Robert Brandt, Andrew Farkas, who is the principal in the Island Capital Group, ANSIGY International Global Yachting, told a small group of us here in St. Thomas that he will be expanding and the Yacht Haven Grand site to accommodate private yachts up to 450 feet. Oh my God, you're going to be that's incredible. I was when I was in St. Thomas, if you watched my show yesterday, you saw my t-shirt with a picture of St. Thomas on it here. And I had the Explorer of the Seas ship at the bottom of the shot. Just in the very front of that ship, right about here somewhere, there was a picture, there was a yacht parked in St. Thomas at that time that it had to have been 300 feet long. It was huge. Had to have had a staff of 15 people to run that thing. Just massive. Now they're talking about expanding that yacht to the yacht club there to handle yachts up to 450 feet, private yachts, 1.5 football fields long. Can you imagine the cost of something like that? That would have to be $500 million. I can't think about it. I can't. I think a typical powerboat. You think of pricing, minimum 100,000 a foot, with like a full yacht. I'm talking about a full yacht. So if you're talking about a 100-foot yacht, it's $10 million if you deck it out. You got a 200-foot yacht, it's $20 million. Is this $450 million? Is my math right? 450 Or is that 45 million? Oh, it's still in unfathomable money. I mean, just, oh my God, Robert, that's incredible. Just, that's nuts. Paul Wilgus, hi, Bruce and all. It's 84 and sunny here in Virginia. Paul, thank you for coming back and watching all the time. I love you to hear. Teresa Hagwood is here. It's 92 here in Springfield, Illinois. Teresa, thank you for joining me today. I'm glad you're here. Robert Brandt, trying to stay non-political today. Oh my, it's so hard, isn't it? Trying. He said, Tom Henry. I was listening on XM radio to Fox with the hearing. I was embarrassed that those senators were ours. Let's send them to North Korea. I got such a kick out of watching the one side just go after him for an email he wrote to a girlfriend. And then the other side talking about the service to his country and wanting to give him a medal. He's a garbage man. He's a god. It's unbelievable. Tom Henry, 15 minutes was way too long. He says, Wendy McCullough, hello, everyone. 86 from the apolitical Southern Indiana. Wendy, welcome back to the show, and thank you for helping me out. That's great. Seakeeper, hi, Bruce, and all. 92 degrees, sunny and muggy here. Thumbs up. Good subject today, but beware. One cruiser's hellish port of call could well be paradise for another, and isn't that true? I wanted to mention some of these ports of call. I'm getting there. I do want to talk about this topic because we could go on for hours on this one. Wes Morrison, so glad you have so many videos. I would rather watch your videos than keep up with politics. Wes, I love making them rather than watching politics. 99% of the day, my television is off. I cannot have my TV on when I'm producing a video like a 5-minute or 8 or 10-minute video. I can't. I also don't like to have the TV on. At least if I have it on, it's on mute, so I can do my work on my trivia questions and also subjects of the day. I have work to do, and then of course all my work I need to do with my social media to promote this channel, promote videos, and that cannot have it. I most of the time this television is off. I've watched less television in 11 months. I have to admit this. In the last 11 months, I've watched less television than probably in 20 years. Since I was, quote, working in a day job, in an office somewhere, when I used to be in the financial business, then of course you wouldn't watch TV because you're at work. I have to tell you that since I started this channel, I'm glad I shut the darn thing off. I really am. I rarely watch it, but today was quite the show. Nina Frank, hi everybody. Sweden, hi today, 25 Celsius and some much needed rain. Nina, welcome back from Sweden. I love having you here, as you know. Love your participation. I wanted to tell you something today that I think you might get a kick out of. I was watching today. I was looking today at my analytics, which I do from time to time. I study them very closely, and I'm trying to figure out where my viewers come from and what videos work and what's not working and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I noticed today, looking at comments. A comment can be exactly what this is here. Every time you guys say something to me, it's a comment. Every time you make a comment on a video where you literally type it in after you watch a video or whatever, that's a comment. It's registered as a comment. Every trivia show, whenever I do a trivia show, every guess you guys make, right or wrong, that's a comment. My number 2 most commented on video of all the videos I've ever done. I've done 330 videos now, a ton of shows. The number 2 with the most Jerry Seinfeld trivia. I love that trivia show. I was asking for character names on Seinfeld, and oh my God, that one question, that one trivia question, that took us a half an hour to do. That was so much fun. And all the one-liners that were coming on there, it was the second highest ever rated video for comments. I'm trying to remember the number 1. I have to think it's the number 1 would have been when I was on live, reaching 1,000 subscribers. When I did the Subscribe-a-thon show, and we were at 950 subscribers when I started the show, and we ended up at 1,010 when I got off the air because we had to break 1,000 that day. That was the number 1 comment show of all shows. But number 2 was the Jerry Seinfeld episode. And Nina, I was thinking of you because you were nailing these characters one after the other, and I just loved it. I still remember that show fondly. A lot of fun. And Jordan, good morning, Bruce and all. It's 21 today in Brisbane. And Jordan, you are wonderful. I love your participation on my channel and on my Facebook page. Those of you who don't know, there's a group page for Traveling with Bruce. Head on over there anytime you want. If you're addicted to cruising, you're going to love that site. We talk all the time about cruising on there. A lot of folks have been so kind to post videos and pictures of their favorite cruises, their favorite cruise ships, ships their parents were on when they crossed the Atlantic way back when. I love it. It's fantastic. And you're always there. I love it. Thank you so much. Robert Brant. Hi, Ann Jordan. Tom Henry. Everyone says hi to Ann Jordan. And Han says hi to everybody. Nina Frank. Yeah, it's about time. What do we got? Tracy Dunlop. Hi, Bruce and all. I'm running late today. High of 91 in Naples today. Rained off and on since around noon. Now the sun is back out and beautiful blue skies. Fantastic. Here in Creston, gorgeous blue skies. Hot, high 80s today. We're in the 90s next week. Absolutely gorgeous here, just a few miles north of the Idaho border. Robert Brent, hi Tracy. Steam and Bean, 2 more days. The steamer is on a cruise ship day after tomorrow, isn't it? It's Saturday, isn't it? Fantastic steamer. I'm really looking forward to you posting from some videos if you can, or photos if you can from the ships. We look forward to it. If you're able to join us on a live show because of the internet, great. If not, I understand. It won't be cheap if you want to do that. Anyway, welcome to the show, buddy. Another loyal follower, Tracy Dunlop, Tom Henry, beautiful art you posted on Facebook. Tracy was saying to Tom, a steamy bean traveling without Bruce. He's saying, I'm going without Bruce. And Jordan, good morning. Robert, Wendy, Wes, Nina, Wendy, Tom Henry. Jim Thomas, 106 degrees here in Anderson today. Whoa, 106, Jimbo. Stay indoors and stay cool, my friend. And again, thank you for your loyal following and all of your contributions and your PayPal donations that you make to me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You know I do it, and I'm glad you're here. Steve Bartley, I ordered from Amazon today. I went through your link, but I had been on Amazon earlier, so I'm not sure if you'll get credit. We'll find out, my friend. I'll know tomorrow. I don't know until the next day, the reports from the day before, so I'll cross my fingers and hope something clicks through. We'll see what happens. Robert Brandt, 106. Oh, my gosh. Tracy Dunlop, Robert, hi there. Hope all's well still at St. Thomas. Steve Bartley, hope you will. Wendy, what ships are in Port Roberts today? Who's in town today? Do you know who's in town in St. Thomas? And Jordan, the Steamy Bean, good morning. Seakeeper, I'm thinking of getting me a graphic shirt for a TWB shirt for a meet and greet to be announced soon. That sextant has caught my eye. Excited about Prime Day. Love it, Seakeeper. You know, I want to make when I announce cruises coming up, when I get to that point, I will have hopefully special meet and greet shirts just for those events. I want to make something special just for that event. And then, of course, for those, I want to do a land meet and greet before the cruise. And I want to do the meet and greet on board for those of us who are on board the ship. And I want to have a shirt for those guys. And I want to have a shirt for those I meet on land as well. I'm excited about it. Richard C., hello. And Jordan, good morning. Robert Brandt saying none. He's saying Wendy, there's none here today. No ships here today in the St. Thomas. Paul saying hi to everybody. Steve Bartley, thunderstorm now in Greeley, Colorado. Hope we don't get the damaging hail. Hopefully not. Robert Brandt, Wendy Thompson, summer is low season. We have ships about 4 days a week and usually 1 to 3. There you go. Tracy Dunlop, I'll try to, Robert, but it's hard. So much stuff every day, laughing out loud. Wendy, she's saying we're always there in January, February for our vacation cruise. How about that? High season, 4 to 6 almost every day. 4 to 6 ships almost every day. Robert Brandt, be happy to buy you dinner and a drink when you are here. Robert, I can't wait to see you. I really welcome for meeting you. As I am almost every one of you guys, practically every one of you guys. I really kind of see you guys. Though there's been one or two, I wonder. Wendy Tussle. It was winter in Missouri, so we want it to be warm. Mary Allmeyer, hello from Detroit. Mary, welcome back to the show. I know you're here once in a while. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me from the beautiful city of Detroit, Michigan. Robert Brandt, for that matter, love to buy a drink for anyone here who stops on the island. Anyone come on down, catch up with Robert Brandt. Years ago, 450 feet was a cruise ship. No private persons owned anything like that. You're right. 450. There was no such thing as a 450-foot passenger yacht, personal private yacht. Come on, I don't have football fields long. The Queen of England may have had something big, but not an individual private person. Unbelievable. Crazy. Wendy Thompson, 3 days, but no one here is counting, she said. Robert Brandt, the huge one here in winter is owned by Larry Ellison, who is the Oracle software guy. It's called the Intrepid. We've been told it costs $400 million. It doesn't surprise me in the least. I remember when I was in the Cayman Islands, a ship came in, a private yacht. Paul Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft with Bill Gates, Paul Allen retired from Microsoft. It's now over 20 years ago, I'm sure. It was at that time, maybe even longer than that. He was already out of Microsoft when he had his yacht down there. It had a helicopter on it, and it was the talk of the island for like the week or two it was down there. We heard that while the ship was down there, the one of the gals from one of the rock groups was on board. Now the name is escaping me. It'll come back to me later. It'll come back to me. Anyway, somebody famous was on board the ship because they had tendered to shore, and someone had seen them on shore. It was a husband and wife team. They were a rock and roll band, and at the moment, it's just escaping me because of my excitement about the matter. It'll come back to me later. I'll tell you about it. And Jordan, Tom Henry also loved the artwork you posted on Facebook. It's amazing. Paul Wilson is here. Hi, I'm a long haul truck driver, and I listen to you yapping while I'm driving. I enjoy listening. Have a great day. Paul, love it. I know you're out there because you've talked to me before. You've told me this, and I'm so glad you catch up with us all the time and you're watching. Just keep it between those lines, my friend. Don't let our craziness interfere with your work. And thanks for listening and enjoying, and I'm glad you're there. I know there's an army of you guys out there driving and working for a living, and I'm sure others do the same thing who listen to me, but they don't generally text in. I love it. Thank you, Paul, for all your support. It's fantastic. Robert Brent, let's see. I think, yeah, I have to say 100 to 125 million is crazy money for a person's yacht. I couldn't agree more. It's just insane. Can you imagine the used market for that kind of a thing? How do you sell something like that used? Good luck. You got to be. It's insane. It's nuts. What can I say? Tom is saying thanks, Anne, for her compliments on the pictures he posted. Mary, although the mayor gives us a lovely bus tour, the worst port we have been on or been to was Corner Brook, Newfoundland. There's just nothing there. I don't know why. What's the point of going to Corner Brook, Newfoundland if you got nothing to see? I don't get it. Well, Mary, sometimes nothing is what they love to show off. We don't have skyscrapers. We don't have museums. We don't have pollution. We just have nature. We have a shore, land. It's quiet. It's peaceful. Welcome to Corner Brook. I don't know. Richard C., the complete news conference from the president was live on MSNBC business channel. It was pretty good to see the whole press conference from media around the world. Yeah, I guess I can't stand it. I turned the channel off. Can't stand them. Robert Brandt. Oops, sorry, not Intrepid. Rising Sun, the name of the private yacht that Larry Ellison has. Rising Sun, unbelievable. Heather Young. Hi everybody. Hello, Heather Young. Welcome to the show. Desi Wagner. Hi, Bruce and all. Keep me cool in the office while it's 90 and humid outside. Desi, good idea. Welcome from, I believe, Chicago, and hope you're having a good day out there. And Jordan, hey, Desi, morning. Good morning, Desi. Welcome, Mary Almeyer and Michelle Lucas. 99 sunny degrees in Roseville, California. Oh, ship, it's a root canal day. Wish it were Panama Canal. Randy is a good nurse today. Oh, Michelle, hang in there. Those are not fun, but you got to get her done. Oh, my gosh. Heather Young, hello, Ann. Tom Henry, I just realized Bruce is taking off for a few days to go see Bean off on his cruise. Don't believe the press release. Laugh out loud. That's right. Bruce isn't going to Calgary to see his daughter. He's going to see Mr. Steamer off in New York to get on his cruise. That's what he's doing. Yeah. It's fake news. Bruce is the fake news. They're just like that. Iskew Park. Hi, Bruce and fellow subbers. It's Iskew in Thunder Bay, Ontario. It's 18 Celsius. It's cloudy, light rain here. How's everybody doing? Iskew, we're great. I'm just thanking everybody for their watching of my channel, following the exploits of traveling with Bruce and being part of the show. I love it. We've had a great day already, and we're trying to keep it apolitical. It's so hard. It's so hard. Okay, best and worst ports for cruise travelers. Let's talk about that topic because today I was looking up some information, looking for some news topics to talk about, cruise related. And I came across a kind of a commentary of a citizen in Halifax, Nova Scotia, good old Canada, maritime provinces. And the guy was saying, essentially, he was saying, it's kind of depressing, it's kind of sad, because when these cruise ships, these lovely cruise ships come to Halifax, by the way, the Norwegian Bliss was in Halifax on its way over from Europe. stopped in Halifax, went to New York, I think Boston, New York, down to Miami, and then now in Seattle. And the bliss was in Halifax. He was talking about how unfortunate it is that these beautiful cruise ships with all of these thousands of passengers come to visit our city of Halifax. And what do they see? A parking lot at the pier. That's all there is an ugly old paved over parking lot. And it's kind of too bad that there isn't like a visitor center or some kind of a shopping thing, or maybe an interpretive center or something. Well, the reality is that Halifax is just not utilized by cruise liners as a home port. And the reason why no major cruise line uses Halifax as a home port for cruising, unless I'm mistaken, I don't believe there's one. The dollars, the cost. No one uses extensively. No one uses a number of Canadian ports. A few are used. I agree. I mean, Charlottetown, I've talked about that. Prince Edward Island, it is home ported. Montreal, a little bit. Not sure about Quebec, maybe. The odd, and it's seasonal, of course, and that's the big reason. Apart from money, the big reason why you don't see a lot of cruise ships in Canadian ports all the time is because of winter. It's a beautiful place to be in the fall. Very, very beautiful. But it's an expensive place to come. Even with the Canadian dollar being as low as it is against the American dollar, cruise lines, they figured out, we are welcome in ports of call for much lower dollars than here. The reality is that if you bring a cruise ship from, say, Miami or New York up into Canada, you've got to clear all those passengers their passports. You've got to clear all those passengers with their passports through the Canadian security system, and there's a fee involved. It's charged to you. Don't worry, the cruise lines don't pay it. They're not worried about it. They don't pay it. They just charge it on to you for taxes and fees. If you've ever taken a look at a New England cruise, excuse me, if you took a look at a New England cruise that happens to include Canadian ports, take a look at the taxes and fees that you get charged for the cruise. If you are going all the way to Montreal and Quebec and Prince Edward Island and Halifax and then Bahama or Boston, those fees are incredibly expensive. Same thing with the Alaska cruises out of Vancouver. Is there a reason why most cruise lines use Seattle as the home port versus Vancouver as a home port? Dollars. It's unbelievable dollars. But getting back to the point about this individual talking about Halifax and the fact that all there is a parking lot there. Well, it could be worse, couldn't it? It could be that in Halifax, you're in the middle of a container port where all these diesel-powered trucks are going up and down, dropping off and picking up these containers, and the cranes are moving along and unloading and loading container ships all around the cruise ship. It could be that silly and that crazy, and that leads me to remembering the port in Mazatlan. Those of you who have ever taken a Mexican cruise, you'll know the port of Mazatlan is definitely right in the container port. I mean, there's no escaping it. The front of the ship, there's containers over here in front of us, and then behind the ship, there are containers all over the place. And what they allow you to do is when you get off your cruise ship in Mazatlan, you come off the gangplank and you're on dry land. The only thing you can do is get a photo taken by the guy with the sombrero and the woman in that beautiful Mexican dress, if you wish. And then the next thing you do is you get in line to get on board one of these little what do you even call them? Disneyland has them for the parking lots. You hop on these little deals. You got like a little heavy duty tractor in the front, pulling a couple of trailers that you just sit on. And they have little roofs on them to keep the sun off your head. And then it snakes its way through the container port in Mazatlan to get you to the passenger area at the front of the port, where you have to walk the gauntlet through humanity and all of these hucksters who've got all these booths that they've set up, who are being charged unbelievable rents to be there. And they're dying for you to buy a T-shirt or a lighter or a bottle opener or anything. And you got to go through that gauntlet to get to the street to then decide what your plan of attack is. So that's one of those ports that I don't particularly like very much, because the same thing when you come back to the ship, you got to run the gauntlet through this complete, hell on wheels, all this nonsense, the music playing, and they're trying to sell you a drink while you're getting onto your ship and hoping you to buy something. And then you got to get on one of those little wagon trains back to your ship through the gauntlet of containers to get back out, and not one of the prettiest ports to get off on. But on the other hand, I had the pleasure of disembarking in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And in the case that I had, San Juan, Puerto Rico, the pier that we pulled into is right off downtown, right off old downtown. And I found that we got off the pier, and you just walk down the length of the pier. Obviously, it's several hundred yards long because big ship. But at the end of the pier, you go through a little security gate, and you're on the street. You're literally on the sidewalk of the busy thoroughfare, and within 1 or 2 blocks of that is Old Town, downtown San Juan, Puerto Rico. I loved it. Jen and I loved that. We noticed just down the road across the street was a CVS pharmacy. We went over there, got a couple of provisions we wanted, and I bought myself a big old bottle liter of Diet Cola, and it was nice and cold from the refrigerator, and I had a drink in hand, and we just started walking the streets, and it was great. And on the way back, all you had to do is show the security guards your room card, this one right here, and you'd be let back on your ship, and you just walk down the pier and up the gangplank. You're good to go. It was very, very nice. So I'm curious to see what cruise ports you like and don't like and have experienced. I'm kind of curious about that. There's all kinds of them. Worst stop, Richard C. is saying, worst stop was Greece. There was an angle everywhere to part the tourists from the money. There was an angle everywhere to part the tourists from money. Even public service workers never stopped there again. The hucksters were out in full force, right? Tracy Dunlap, if you're not back on the air on Monday, Bruce, then we know you're cruising with Beaner, sharing a solo cabin, laughing out loud. You got me. You got me there. If Beaner and I are doing a live broadcast from, I can't remember the name of the ship, the Breakaway, whatever ship he's on. Yeah, if we're doing a live broadcast, you caught me red-handed. Absolutely. We'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. Tom Henry, have a great cruise, Beaner. Looking forward to your picks. A Seakeeper, yes. Quebec City, too. And the ship's dock right next to the old city under Chateau Frontenac. Very pretty. Yes, I've seen fantastic photos and videos of cruisers going to Quebec City and catching that Frontenac Hotel up there, which just looks like a castle from the old days. It's beautiful. Old Quebec City, pretty as can be, and they know how to preserve it. They've really taken to it. They've adopted it as their own, and they won't allow certain kinds of new construction to be had in the downtown core to preserve it for the tourists. Smart, preserving your heritage. Good move. And Jordan, Tracy Dunlop, I have an awesome cruise as well. Beaner, she's saying as well. Robert Brandt, is there a problem with people trying to flee the USA to Canada these days? There is an issue of people trying to come into Canada illegally in several points on the Canadian border. What's been happening lately started right after the election, probably within a month or two after the election it began. People who were applying for asylum in the United States and had been refused were now technically still in the U.S. illegally and had to report to get out. And they decided that they weren't going to just leave or be deported. They decided to give Canada a try. And so thousands, and I mean thousands, maybe up to 10,000 in the last year and a half, have crossed the border illegally into Canada. Now, here's the trick of it. If you come to a Canadian border crossing where there's the Canadian border guards and you enter the country and seek asylum, you can ask for asylum there. However, the process for you going forward may be different than if you cross into Canada illegally at a non-border crossing. This is the difference between the US and Canada. So if you cross, like say in New York State, there are towns, villages on the Canadian-US border, have been forever. And on one side of the street, it's the United States. The other side of the street, it's Canada. There's no fence. There's no nothing. There's no nothing. Neighbors go over to neighbors' houses and say hi and whatever. In the past, no one cared. Nowadays, oh, it's a big to-do and it's a big no-no and what have you, but it's still done. In any event, if you end up in a small town, small village in New York State, and you cross into Canada there, you're literally just walking maybe through like across a little creek. You know, creek is 2 feet wide. There's a rock in the middle. Step on the rock, you're in Canada. You've now entered Canada illegally. And now if you ask for asylum, you turn yourself in to the authorities and seek asylum, you get treated in a whole different format. You're now allowed in, you're screened, you will be photographed, you'll be interviewed, whatever documentation you have, you'll provide it, and they'll ask you why are you seeking asylum. But under Canadian rules, there's a process, and the process in effect takes you to a gathering center. You'll be housed for a while, and eventually you will be sponsored. There are volunteers that come forward, church groups and others, to try to sponsor you in, or to at least accommodate you while you're here. And then the process begins. Now, I don't have all the ins and outs of this thing as far as are you allowed to work? Are you allowed to do this? I don't actually know. But thousands of people who feel that they're not going to be allowed to stay in the United States, or have felt that the rules are changing and the attitude of the administration is completely different than the last administration, they've decided to hedge their bets and seek asylum in Canada instead. And so there's a border crossing. There's one spot in New York State where thousands have gone, and the RCMP, the Canadian Royal Canadian Mounted Police, are waiting. They're just standing there like that. And across the border they come. And the officer will say to you, if you cross that creek and come into Canada, you realize you will be arrested as an illegal crosser. And the person says, yes, I'm aware of that. I'm seeking asylum. And then they come across, and they are then greeted by the RCMP. And the RCMP will ask them, please put your suitcases down and please put up your hands, and they'll frisk them to make sure they're not armed, and they're not armed. And then they'll ask them to pick up their luggage and come with me. And so one traveler, two, a family, they'll do the whole routine, and they'll escort them to a tented area where the RCMP have a tent set up with immigration officers waiting to begin the processing. It's happening a zillion times a day, a week, a month. And the routine just goes through. And then they feed them, and they give them water. They check to make sure they're okay health-wise. Then they are put on buses, and then they are taken into refugee asylum gathering centers and processing centers, where they have a place to sleep, a place to bathe, keep clean, and all that. I mean, it's just a very humane process. They're not put in jails. They're not separated from their children. They're not forced to be in a prison. But if a person coming across the border is if they're able to determine, and they are pretty quickly, if they have a criminal record from where they're coming from. They're from Guatemala, and they're a gang member, or they're a convicted felon, they're arrested. They're in handcuffs, and they're going into a jail. They're now into an immigration scenario where they're kept locked up. And they'll have a hearing on their validity to stay in the country, but it's not going to work very well. They're going to be deported. But if they're typical people fleeing violence, gang violence, what have you, they're coming in, they're given an opportunity to present a case, and they're provided legal counsel. That's the other thing they're provided with. It's the way Canada is, and that's the way it's going. But we don't go crazy about it in Canada. We don't have people on the streets and fist fights in bars. Apparently, Canada's kind of like, these folks are having a tough time, and we kind of get why they're here. We understand it, and they may be deported anyway, but everyone's allowed due process, and that's how it goes. Okay. Hope I haven't wasted you too much time on that one. Michelle Lucas, how about Long Beach? But you do see Queen Mary. Yes, Michelle, the port of Long Beach. Very good. You come off the ship in Long Beach at Carnival, and you're now going through that dome that used to hold the Spruce Goose way back when. And then right beside it is the Queen Mary. but there's also the parking lots and some containers. Is it bad? There's worse. There's worse. But I would say that if you're getting off the ship and you want to grab a cab somewhere, cabs are waiting. Is there transportation? I'm not sure. There might be, but it's not like god awful. It's not like really bad. Los Angeles, to kind of go there, the world port of Los Angeles, you're coming up to a parking lot. You're not coming, there's a container port around you, the port of Los Angeles, of course. It's one of the world's largest, which is connected over here to Long Beach. If you look at a satellite map, you can't really tell the difference. It's just a huge series of container ports all over the place, but there is the port of LA and the port of Long Beach, but far enough up, looking down from high enough up, it looks like one giant facility. Anyway, you get off the cruise ship with Princess in Los Angeles. The parking lot's there, so if you parked your car, go get it, go. If you need to rent a car, you can grab a cab to be taken to a car rental agency. Or if you're going to the airport, you can grab the bus that Princess provides for a bus ride to the airport, and it might be $10 a person or $15, whatever it is. Good deal. You don't spend much time at the port. Now, to visit Los Angeles, very few cruise ships actually come to LA, spend 6 hours, and leave LA and go somewhere else. LA seems to be a beginning and end port for a lot of cruisers most of the time. And so I would say that if you were visiting Los Angeles for an 8-hour stay, you'd probably do a ship tour, or you'd grab a cab to a car rental agency, grab a car and go. If you want to see something yourself or a person or people, head to Hollywood, see the Walk of Fame or whatever you want to do. Or go to Disneyland. Grab a cab, take me to Disneyland for 4 hours. How much Disneyland you can see, I don't know. Not very much on a cruise ship day. I wouldn't recommend it. You're really going to spend a lot to get in, and it's going to cost you a fortune for each ride you get. You might get 3 rides, and then you got to get back. I don't know if it's worth your while. Anyway, that's LA and Long Beach. Robert Brent, San Juan is lovely. Absolutely. Cool Jazz. Hello, Ann Jordan. How's your day? Cool Jazz. My daughter is on the horizon right now. We'll be in San Juan in a few days. Fantastic. Tom Henry, cool. You're late. Been out with MG. What's going on? Seakeeper. Horrible places for me are Belize City, Roatan, and Ojo Rios. Funny, because I used to love Roatan before they built that monster shopping center on the dock. Very interesting. I know that Mark the Lost Traveler, who's a follower of mine, catches my reruns most of the time now. He was in Roatan on his last, the cruise that he was just on, and he did a couple of videos from there, and it is terrible. It's hucksters everywhere and what have you, but I guess if you're getting on a bus for a tour, you're not going to experience too much of it, but you still got to walk the gauntlet, I like to say, and that can't be fun. Robert Brandt, Barbados is a nice port. Shops and restaurants all around if you aren't exploring the island. Debbie Manuel, shoot, just now got chance to log on. And Debbie, welcome to the show. Debbie, you've missed all of my thank yous to all of my loyal viewers, and you're one of them. I wanted to I've been personally thanking all of my loyal viewers today, followers, subscribers. Same with you, Cool Jazz, of course. But also I've been making special shout outs to my viewers and subscribers who have been supporting me through direct contributions, and you're one of them. I thank you so much for your loyalty to my channel and to help keep me on the air. I really appreciate it, and thank you for coming by today. I'm glad you're here. And Jordan, awesome, Cool Jazz. How's the weather in New York City? Robert Brandt, the same in Antigua. Nice port. Tom Henry saying, welcome, Debbie. Debbie, hi, everyone. Over 100 again today in Northern California. Yucko. Steve Bartley. Hey, Steve, welcome to the show as well. If I haven't said already, thank you. Cadiz and Alicante, Spain are nice. You are right at the interesting part of the city. Steve, you're absolutely right. I've been to Cadiz, really cool. Malaga was interesting. Malaga, you get off the ship and you get on a little bus of some kind, take you right to the basically downtown, and you're right there. It is fantastic. It is beautiful. Also, Gibraltar. I've been to Gibraltar and was fortunate enough to be moored right at the pier. We walked off, and within 3 or 4 minutes, we're in Gibraltar. No cab necessary. Loved it. Beautiful area and so much to do and see. My daughter and I, we just walked around because we had lived in the Cayman Islands. So we'd been in a British protectorate. Here was another one. And it brought all the memories back about living in the Caymans because it's so British. It's just fantastic. Loved it. Beautiful port. Beautiful topography to see. Gorgeous. We didn't get the chance to go up the cable car. But the next time I'm back in Gibraltar, if I ever get the chance, I'm heading up there and we'll see the monkeys and we'll see the views from up there, hopefully on a reasonably clear day. So that was a nice port too. Iskew Park, the least favorite port is Nassau, Barbados, or Bahamas. I think you're talking Bahamas, Nassau, because you've got upwards of 5 or 6 ships on those piers. You got to walk the gauntlet. Once you get off there, you got to go through those markets with all those folks looking to get a dime out of you, anything off of you. Tough times for a lot of those people, and they're hustling everything they can get. I understand that very much. I've been in downtown Nassau, and it's interesting to watch in a way. If they don't think you're a tourist, you're okay. But if they think you're a tourist, oh God, you're being abused all the time, just getting hit up on like crazy. Very interesting. Cool Jazz, very nice. 84 today. And Jordan, Robert Brandt, places I would avoid right now, Jamaica and Haiti. Yes. Of course, Haiti, if you're Labadee, it's okay because you're in a private resort area. But if you're going to be in Jamaica, Ocho Rios. Jennifer and I got off the ship in Ocho Rios and we walked to the first bar we could, where we could get internet. We got free Wi-Fi because she bought a Red Stripe beer, which is what she wanted. I got my Diet Coke, and we sat down on a little picnic type thing with a little umbrella above us. It was cool. It was shady, a little breeze. Loved it. We didn't bother even going into the shops, the duty-free shops. Didn't even bother walking in there. And we knew beyond that, there's no way we were going in there. Not a chance. So yeah, Jim, I agree with that. To Haiti, can you imagine downtown Port-au-Prince, Port-au-France? Not a chance. Or Port-au-Prince. No, thank you. Don't want any part of that. Whatever. I agree. Tom Henry, I enjoyed Barbados, but disappointed my tour to visit the Concorde got canceled. If you look at my pics, that was where we saw the sinking tour boat, laughing out loud. Interesting. Isn't that something? It is too bad, Tom. Yeah, that would be it would be a shame. And Jordan, Debbie Emanuel, good morning. Robert Brandt. After Trump, no comment. Debbie Manuel, a high end. I hope it is warmer for you today. Tom Henry, I think Beener was getting away from it all on the getaway. There you go. Breakaway just came out of dry dock yesterday in Germany. Very good. Yeah, that's right. It is. Getaway. Yeah, he's on the getaway. Right now, tonight, he's in Ottawa, Ontario, nation's capital for Canada, watching a football game. He's going to watch Calgary Stampeders, the team I cheer for, against his beloved Ottawa Red Blacks in Ottawa. Last week, he was in Montreal watching his Ottawa team kick Montreal's butt. So he's now hoping that Ottawa can kick Calgary's butt. Calgary is 3-0. Ottawa, I think, is 1-2 or 2-1. I'm not exactly sure. So he's kind of looking forward to that game big time. Should be an interesting game. I'll be watching that later tonight. Richard C. Canada is so nice to take the illegal immigrants. Great job. So nice to do it. They'll probably get deported, a bunch of them, but it'll be done in a systematic way, the way it was supposed to be done. We are under conventions like the U.S. are following conventions. We respect human rights, and we don't separate children from parents. We don't do that. Robert Brandt, Tom Henry, bargains are bagans are very welcoming, and I enjoy that island. Oh, Bahamians, very welcoming, very good. Tom Henry, NCL finally has the Punta Arenas tours back on for my 3/30th, March 30th cruise. Only 161 days to go. Tom saying, who would go zip lining in Costa Rica? Not me. No, you're not catching me on a zip line in Costa Rica. Interesting. Excuse me. Punta Arenas tours back on for your cruise coming up. Interesting, Tom. Robert Brandt. Okay, makes total sense. I made my legal residence here versus Pennsylvania, and sometimes regret not being able to vote for the president. There you go. Right. Yeah. You can't vote for president in your territory. It's just the way that is. Seakeeper in Canada, refugee status applicants get a temporary work permit and can work while their case is studied, which means, of course, they pay taxes while they're in the country. They make money while in the country, which means they spend it. and pay taxes like sales taxes. If they make enough money, they'll get a car. It might be a junker, but they're buying insurance, which they're allowed to. They get a license, which they're allowed to. They're buying gas for the car, and they're buying groceries for their family. They're contributing to the economy. Helps to cover the cost of holding them, which means it's a lot cheaper than they can pay their own rent. We don't have to house them in a jail. I like this deal. A lot better than just housing them. Debbie Manuel, no foreign zip lines for me, Thomas. I'm with you, Debbie, absolutely. Richard C. Debbie Manuel, I agree. Won't do a zip line in those countries, just uncomfortable. Seakeeper, we don't jail them, torture them, threaten them, or torture them. I couldn't ask for a better place to seek refuge. It's a friendly place, friendly and fair. But if you don't belong here, you will be deported. It will happen. Robert Brandt, oddly, as poor as many are here, we have almost no homeless. Robert Brandt is saying, as poor as many. It's interesting, yeah. As poor as you are, that is something. Iskew Park, best port for us was Cozumel, Mexico. Fantastic dock, bars right at the end, and very nice shops, all located in the port area. I have to agree with you to a degree on this one. We walked off the ship, Norwegian Epic. Walked down to the end of the pier, and got through security, of course. But then it was a bit hectic, noise. But we had a walkway to walk over the roadway right to that shopping center there, and we had no intention of going on any tour and going into the heart of town. We're quite happy hanging out there, and we wanted free internet, which we'd had in Ocho Rios, and so we went into, I believe it was Hooters. We didn't care. Walked into Hooters. We had a drink. My wife had a beer of some kind, or maybe a margarita. I had a cola, of course, and then we had a little dessert, and we got the Wi-Fi code from the waitress, and we checked our emails, and it was all good. Text everybody at home. It was all fine. Spent about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Walked back to the ship, and it was like a 4-hour, 3-hour outing. That's all I wanted out of Cozumel. It's what I got. I'm a happy guy, and it was just fine. Michelle Lucas, San Francisco Cruise Terminal is our favorite, and I guess it would be. You're right down there in the heart of the downtown core. That would be fantastic. You could probably easily get a cable car ride right from down there, going up those hills and get up to, what is it, Union Hill? What is the name of those hills up there? And get a view of greater San Francisco. Fabulous. So head into Chinatown if you wanted, or wherever. Oh, man. Check out the chocolate at the chocolate factory over there. Oh, my gosh, San Francisco. What a great idea for a downtown cruise stop. Rob Souter, greetings from Wilmington, Delaware. Bruce, Rob, welcome from Delaware. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for all your loyalty to my channel. I've been saying hi to everybody today. Tom Henry, I just realized we have never discussed the perks from the Norwegian Cruise Line MasterCard points. I was lucky to have a Facebook friend give me this info the day before our last cruise. Tom, tell me about it. Tell me about it. If you call the number on your rewards page, Bank of America, Norwegian Cruise Line card, you can convert the points to onboard credit. We were able to get $250 in onboard credit. Way to go. If that covers your tip money, well done. Well done, Tom Henry. That is a good idea. Jim Thomas, they call people that help others across our border from Mexico coyotes. They have those in Canada, but they probably call them mooses instead. Our beavers, I don't know. We've got, several animals that we're famous for. I guess, Jim, Cool Jazz. I left work so I could be with you, Bruce. Laugh out loud. Better late than never, I suppose. Cool Jazz, welcome to the show, of course. And as always, I'm glad you're here. That's great. Paul Lucas laughing out loud there. Tom Henry, I built up the points by charging the cruise to the card. You get extra points when using the card for NCL purchases. There you go. Great idea. Use it to get the cruise. Get the points. Use the points as a room credit on your cruise. If you're a shareholder, take those as well. Absolutely. Smart move. Way to go, Tom. I agree with that. See, Richard C. Debbie Manuel, thumbs up. Tom Henry, welcome, Rob. I have an uncle living in Wilmington. How about that? Robert Brandt, great shopping in Gibraltar. It's fun too. Beautiful, really cool. I loved it. I love walking through that main drag, the shopping street. Really nice. As Richard C. Cadiz was a great port. No, I don't think I would go do Gibraltar. Too overcast up there, and the monkeys bit a bit of tourist getting a picture with it right in the face. Well, you hear these horror stories, but generally they leave you alone. Cadiz is great. Malaga is kind of cool. Cagliari was also nice. Cadiz I loved, by the way. Cadiz, you just reminded me. I and my daughter walked into Cadiz, and we ended up going to that cathedral, the old Cadiz Cathedral, a beautiful square in the front of it. They have two spires, and one of the spires you can walk up. It's like a ramp, like a long ramp. And I think when you get to the top, you're probably, I'm going to say 10 to 15 stories, somewhere in there, maybe 12 stories off the ground. It's quite high. So it's breezy up there. It's a beautiful, cool breeze. So it's when it's 85 out and you're up at the top of this spire, you're still inside it. Like there's the roof above you. I think the bell is up there. But it's deliciously refreshing because the breeze is coming in. You have a 360-degree view because there are no windows, 360 degrees. And you can get some great photos up there, and you can just cool down and relax up there. You take a beverage with you, by the way. Bring a water with you or whatever. I had my cola with me. And then on coming down is easy. You're just spiraling your way down, piece of cake. That was a €3 or €5 admission fee. Worth it. Worth it. It's the cheapest thing you're going to get. Once you're on the bottom, if you want to stop at a cafe, they have these bars and cafes right down on the square with the umbrellas. You can always grab a beer there if you feel you need one, but my daughter and I, we lazily walked back to our cruise ship. We could see it from the spire. We knew exactly where it was. And it was easy to walk back to the ship. And it was a wonderful, must have been a 4 hour something outing. Loved it. Right beside the Cadiz church is a museum of ancient Roman ruins that have been unearthed and preserved. I believe it might be UNESCO protected. I'm not sure. We did that. I loved it. Loved, very interesting. Cadiz is the oldest city in Europe. Didn't know that. Phenomenal. Absolutely great. Cool jazz. I saw Dan's video about Princess Termination of Coffee card. You can no longer use it on future cruises. Valid only for the cruise you are on. So I guess it would have been a deal where you bought the coffee card and going forward you could use it in future cruises, but now only on the cruise that you're on. Is that the deal? I guess. Jim Thomas, Deb is such a wonderful helping person, heart of gold. Jim, you're absolutely right. She's fantastic. I love her. Love all you guys. Thank you all for your support of this channel. Robert Brandt, Red Stripe. Those brown, stubby little beer bottles. Canada used to be famous for all beer sold in Canada was in brown, stubby bottles from Canadian brewers. Now we allow everything in, and all the Canadian breweries have gone with the long, narrow, tall bottles. And these these little stub bottles bring back memories of our parents. Actually, my dad used to drink Red Cap, a beer called Red Cap. I don't know why. Maybe it was the cheapest beer he could buy. I don't know. Some kind of a lager. He loved Red Cap from Carling Breweries, I believe. Tom Henry. I like the shopping in Al Caliente. I have some nice leather belts from that port. Also like the Punta Arenas wooded items. Punta Arenas wooden items. Very good, Tom. Very interesting spots. Thinking of Caribbean stops, I'm thinking of Cayman Islands. It's a love-hate thing. Of course, I live there, so I have a unique taste for it and a feel for it over the years. By the way, cheers, everybody. The port in Georgetown, Cayman Island, the only way you can get to it is by tender. You have to tender in. And some days there are 5 or 6 cruise ships in town. Like St. Thomas, Cayman Islands are swamped with cruise ships. But the islanders, for whatever reason, as much as they hate the cruise ships, the local governments, if a local politician was to say, you elect me and I'll restrict it to only 2 cruise ships a day, I don't think he'd get elected. The business interests are so addicted to the cruising money, the cruise money that comes in from non-voting visitors. I think that'll continue. Anyway, when you get to Cayman and you get off the tender, you're right in downtown, right there. You just got to walk out the security gates and you're on the street. And downtown Cayman is across the street. Wait for the light to turn green and you can walk across the street and there's block after block of downtown Georgetown. Now, the Cayman Islands have 35,000 residents on the whole thing. Georgetown itself is maybe 15,000, 20,000 of those people. But the island's population is spread out over a large area of the island. Downtown Georgetown is quaint, neat looking. What I find unique is the curbs. The curbs are 18 inches high from the street to the sidewalk. It's at least 18 inches. Why, you ask? Two reasons. High tide and storms, especially storms during high tide. When the waves are up and you got a nor'easter, you got 10-foot waves coming over, and the streets are designed to turn into canals for at least the first 18 inches of water. It's canal time, and the sewer system is designed to just collect the water and shoot it back out. Out it goes back into the sea. I believe that's how this works. The roofs on Cayman are designed to flow the water off the roofs onto the streets and then into the sewer system and out. And it is not uncommon, like in Florida, in the afternoon, you can get a 3 in the afternoon thunder shower where you get a downpour and you get 2 inches of rain in 30 minutes and it's all over. And the streets are just flooded with water, and the cars and buses are driving by and they're splashing water up onto the sidewalk. And if you're the victim of that, too bad for you. You shouldn't be out there. But within an hour, it's all gone, and there are tiny little puddles left everywhere because it's all flown away. It's all just flowed away. It's incredible. It's the first thing I noticed as a Canadian from Calgary at the time, where our sidewalks, our curbs are 6 inches off the ground. That's it. Here they're 18 inches. They're huge. They're massive. It's a big step up. But yeah, you see it, and you see these massive manhole covers, these massive drainage ditches on the corner, the street corner where the sidewalk meets the curb there. The water just flows down there and heads down, and it just goes. It's unbelievable. Tons of water going through there. Peter Heckema, when we were traveling to Montreal a few weeks ago, we went to the L'École Champlain border, about 2 miles from where the legals are coming through. Mobile homes are set up now for processing the legals. Yeah. The former Olympic Stadium, the actual Olympic Stadium, they were using it to house the first waves of migrants when they were first trying to catch up with it all. The Canadian authorities were just overwhelmed all of a sudden with this massive, constant sea of humanity every day. It's like a river. They were flooding through. The Haitians, Jamaicans, Nigerians. I mean, we're talking third worlders, tons of them, desperate to stay, not to go back. And the Canadian government was bussing them in, and they had literally tent cities set up right away to just handle the initial flow. And then they were trying to get established buildings set up to work it, and that's what they've done now. They've got it to a science, but it's a sad story. It really is. Hardship everywhere. Cool Jazz loves Robert Brandt loves a nice gold red stripe myself. Yeah, Cool Jazz, I'm sure you would. Robert saying, you betcha. Tracy Dunlop, Bean is going on the escape, not to getaway. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tracy. I like Falmouth, Jamaica cruise port, but stayed in the cruise port. Okay, very interesting, Tracy. Peter Heckema, sorry, Bruce, I meant for processing illegals. The RCMP screen all people, and I heard 80% are being returned to their countries of birth after a court hearing. Yeah, I've heard this. I've heard these different numbers too, Peter. I don't, like I said, I don't follow it all the time as my hobby, but I've heard a lot about it off and on, and it sometimes makes the news now, or we don't hear anything about it, but yet continues. It's amazing. And Peter, thanks for joining me, and thank you for your contributions to my channel. I love it very much. As you know, I'm very appreciative of your efforts. I thank you very much for supporting me so much. Tracy Dunlop, NCL, private island, Port Harvest Cay, Belize, is beautiful. I would imagine the private island that Disney has, and also Coco Cay for Royal Caribbean, the way it's been and the way it's heading. I'm sure that these are going to be heavenly places for passengers to go to. It won't surprise me in a couple of years. We'll see travel writers for the New York Times or whatever outfits. They'll do a report on a cruise someday, and they'll talk about how they were on a 7-day cruise on cruise line, whatever, and they had 4 stops, and 2 of them were private islands, and 2 of them were maybe St. Thomas, maybe Saint Martin, maybe Roatan, maybe somewhere else, whatever it is. And they'll comment on the difference between a private island and a non-private island. And they may be very critical of Roatan or Belize or, third world type scenarios, as opposed to coming off a cruise ship, walking right onto a pier and walking right into a private resort island setting. And how wonderful was that? Now, if they complain about anything, it might be the costs of the rides and the amenities that the private island has, and they might complain about how vertically integrated everything is in favor of the cruise line, because they're all, these passengers are stuck, can't go anywhere else. They have to use these. They have to use these amenities. Blah blah blah. But compared to Jamaica, coming out of Ocho Rios, you don't dare walk out of the gates on your own into town. You don't even think about it. So take one or the other. I think I know which direction I'd be going. Cool Jazz, hate the Cayman cruise port. Laugh out loud, hate the tender. I'm with you. I'm not a fan of the tendering process myself. I've been to Cabo 3 times, never got off the ship. I am standing on my balcony. I'm watching the tenders getting passengers to Cabo. The tenders are doing this right beside the ship. There's no way I'm going on that. I'll barf like there's no tomorrow. Not a chance. I'll be ill for the rest of the night. Not a chance. Staying on that cruise ship. I'm heading for my spa, and I'll enjoy Cabo from there. Thank you very much. Seakeeper, ain't nobody getting this polar bear on no zip line nowhere on this planet. I would rather die. I say nay, nay to parasailing too. Seakeeper, I know for a fact you're not 25 years old. I know it. I feel it. Tom Henry, here's a goal, Bruce. Sherry just posted. She uploaded her 400th video today, and she has 49,364 subs. We have some work to catch up on. Yes, we do. Sherry works very hard. She and her husband, they really put in the effort and have been doing it a while. Sherry been on the air for a long time, and Sherry has a very loyal following, and I commend her and congratulate her on her success. It's all deserved. None of it is free. She earned it, and I think they do a terrific job. Way to go. Paul Wilgus, laugh my ass off, Seakeeper. Tom Henry, sold. I have booked the train, bus, and boat tour. Tom, I'm trying to figure out where are you talking about. I may have mentioned something and I've forgotten, but great. Tracy Dunlop, Honduras worst. Lots of shopping if that's what you want. Yeah, I have to say too, Mazatlan, you can make it miserable or you can make it enjoyable. And Jen and I, on our first ever visit to Mazatlan and our last visit, the one we just had, we made it enjoyable for ourselves. We really did like it. Actually, I've only been to Mazatlan twice, I have to admit, twice, but enjoyed it twice. We take that little train thing into the front, and we just walk the gamut. We walk right through it. Excuse me. And the last time we were there, we took the free bus. They had a free shuttle bus right to downtown where the cathedral is. We got off there, and yes, it was hectic. It was noisy because it's downtown Mazatlan, where real people are as well as tourists. Don't mind that a bit. I don't mind it a bit. And we took a walk, and we were headed for the old Best Western Hotel right on the shore, opposite from the harbor. So in effect, you got to go up a little bit uphill, and then you got to come downhill a little bit to get to the Best Western. But we knew there was a reward waiting for us when we got there. And the reward was that we would take the elevator to the top of the hotel, 12 stories up. And right up there, you get off the elevator, there's a bar right there. You grab a drink, or you tell them what you want, and you walk the stairs 2 more flights to the top of the roof of the hotel. There's a hotel roof there with a pool, which we didn't use. We're just hanging out there. There's a bunch of chairs and a few umbrellas, and we hung out on the top of the roof of the Best Western Hotel. The bartender brought us our drinks. He said, "Yeah, head up there. I'll bring them up." He brought us our drinks, and we were on the top of this roof, 14 stories up, right at the heart of downtown Mazatlan. Built in 1933, this hotel. And we hung out there with free Wi-Fi, because the bartender says, here's your Wi-Fi code, enjoy. And we were doing emailing and texting and doing some surfing on the internet, enjoying the view from up there. That was our reward for walking through downtown Mazatlan. It was fantastic. And it's, cheap, pretty cheap. Loved it. Now, we did do a tour. We did do a bus tour to the other end of Mazatlan, and we didn't even get off the bus. We could have gotten off the bus and walked around a bit, but we didn't. We just wanted to see the area. And I'm really glad I didn't get off the bus because, I don't know, it cost us a bit of, maybe $20 each. Too much money, but what the hey. And we're on the bus and we could see the other side, those who live there full time. And then the tourist areas that were low grade, medium grade, higher grade, we saw all that. And we drove all the way up and then we drove all the way back and we got a ride right back to our ship, which we were quite happy to take. And I got to tell you, that took about 2 hours. Didn't like it that much, but it was interesting. But I loved the first part of the tour where we went to the hotel and stayed on the roof and just enjoyed that. That I would do every time I'd go back there. That's all I want to do. I have no interest in anything else Mazatlan. Fantastic. If you ever get the chance to do something like that, pretty cool. All right. What do we got here? Chevy in first. Hey, y'all. I got Kroger fuel points buying Carnival gift cards to pay for my cruise. Well done. Way to go. Cool jazz. Same goes for Royal Caribbean also. You get rewards for booking even with the Chase card. Nicely done. Stacy Dunlap. Sorry, got to go. See you, Tracy. Tom Henry. I saw a Norwegian Cruise Line has a 5th and 6th new ship orders for 2026 and 2027. More Leonardo class, ? You're leading me to my second topic, and that is Norwegian Cruise Line orders 2 more Leonardo ships. That is true. They have now ordered 6 Leonardo class ships. The first one arrives next year, fall of 2019. That's a year and a half from now. It's called the Encore, and it's a 3,300 passenger cruise ship. Larger than their their latest versions and a little smaller than their absolute monster ships. Fits right in the middle, 3,300 folks, 140,000 tons. So it's a lot of room on there. 3,300 passengers, probably 1,600 crew. So 5,000 people in total. And the ships will start being delivered in 2019, one a year until 2026 seems to be the schedule of delivery for Norwegian. That was my second topic today. And Tom Henry, you got to me, just got ahead of it. PJ is here. PJ Drayton, I have a dream to go Disney's Castaway Cay. Twice in one cruise. I've heard they're doing that on some cruises now. Very interesting, PJ. That's how they keep it easy. Cool Jazz, that's right, Bruce, about the coffee card. Interesting. And Jordan, Cool Jazz Princess is digital now. The old coffee cards won't be available as of June, July this year. Bummer. Cool Jazz, that's right. And Seakeeper in Punta Arenas, Costa Rica, they sell feathers with colorful birds painted on them. Very nice. And I bought an earthenware ocarina. Just stay away from the sand on the beach by the cruise dock. Okay. Mary Ellen Shaw, my adult son who has autism, zip-lined on Amber Cove. He loved it. I now remember there was no communication with the other end of the line and it was not safe. Didn't realize the risk at the time. Wow, interesting. But he did enjoy it, which is good. Iskew Park, I agree. Belize City is one of the most dangerous around, he's saying. Tom Henry, I got my puns reversed. He is getting away on the escape. Laugh out loud. Instead of escaping on the getaway, he's getting away on the escape. Paul Wilson, what is wrong with Jamaica? Oh, Paul, the problem with Jamaica is the island itself, the entire island, has been under a national state of emergency for now 5 years running. I don't know if you know that. There are curfews in the evening. There are certain curfews in certain parts of certain cities in the evening with military police on the roads. It's bad news. There are certain parts of the island that the government cannot guarantee your safety. So if you're out in certain parts of the island and you get accosted, robbed, what have you, the government's going to go, sorry, we can't help you. The island is under a state of emergency. We cannot control parts of the island, even 24 hours a day. And so a lot of the ports of call that cruise ships go to, you're either on foot, you're restricted to a caged, fenced-in area only, where certain merchants are allowed to operate duty-free type shops and that type of thing. But if you go outside the gates, your safety cannot be guaranteed. It is not recommended. If you go out of gated areas on tour buses, on tours, likely there will be a security officer on board the bus, armed, or you'll be on routes that can be guaranteed safe during the daytime only. And when you get to where you're going, you may be in a fenced, compounded type facility to protect your safety. It's rough. Jamaica, it's not good. So that's why you don't see cruise ships docking in downtown Kingston, the capital of Jamaica, and you can hang around for 4 or 5 hours like in downtown San Juan. There's no such thing as that. Nothing like that, which is too bad. Jamaica is a lovely place. Most Jamaicans are wonderful people, but unfortunately, they're experiencing tough times economically in Jamaica, and there are a lot of desperados, and there's some not so nice people there. How about that? Tom Henry, Bruce, that was the Punta Neras, Costa Rica tour. Everyone convinced me to avoid the zip line. Interesting, Tom. Tom says, I'm working on posting some non-cruise pics. How does the Outer Banks of North Carolina sound? That sounds pretty darn good. That'd be pretty cool. Tom, post anything you want. Folks, you want to post some photos of vacations you've been on that are non-cruise related? Knock yourselves out. That page is open. That group page is open to all kinds of fun stuff. I'd love to have it. Jim Thomas, Friday the 13th tomorrow. If you're a Knights Templar, keep your head down. There you go. Barb, what is the name of the video mentioned for Cheryl? I don't know. Barb is asking. I don't know. Hi, Barb. Robert Brandt. Tom Henry, there has been an increase in violence in some of the non-resort areas of Jamaica. Robert Brandt, if you're on a land vacation, the resorts are fine, but venturing off is not advised right now. Absolutely not. Armed security at all resorts practically. Barb, I need somewhere the cruise ships are destroying some beaches because of all the people and polluting. Did you hear about that? Yes, Barb, some ports of call are becoming over visited by cruise ships. One in particular I'll mention right off the get-go is Venice. Venice, Italy is being loved to death by tourists, and that there are two competing interests in Venice: the business interests that want the money, and the folks who live there and who are trying to preserve the place and are saying enough's enough. Forget about just cruise ship tourists. Tourists coming in by train loads into Venice are overrunning the city as well. This has been an argument for decades, especially with the passengers on trains into Venice. Cayman Islands being overrun by tourists. We're loving the Caymans to death. Boat after boat after boat are heading for Stingray City. Not good. It's just too much. Snorkeling in the Caymans is popular, but almost too much. The beach visits are almost too much. It's too bad. Nassau, Bahamas, you can get out of there if you take a tour, and you can get away from the hordes, but I'm not sure how much you'd enjoy it. A lot of folks in Nassau go over to Paradise Island and head for the Atlantis Resort, and they pay a fee to enjoy the water park there for the day. It's all artificial. They do have beaches out there, but I don't know if people are enjoying it that much. It's there are places, Barb, where it is being heavily overdeveloped and overused. Paul Wilson, thank you for the info on Jamaica for my next cruise stops there. You betcha, Paul. Jim Thomas, see you in a while, everyone. TTFN. Ta-ta for now is my guess. Robert Brandt, just be aware. All right, it's now 6:30 Eastern time. In 1 hour and 30 minutes, it's time for trivia. And tonight's trivia show is called Trump Trivia, because I got Trump Trivia tonight. I have other trivia, but I got a couple of Trump things for you. I thought I'd mix it up a little bit, have some fun. So pop on by and let's have some fun tonight on the trivia show at 8 o'clock. One guess per message, please. And we'll have fun. I'm looking forward to it. Robert Brandt, just be aware, as he's saying. I want to thank all you guys for joining me today, as usual. I want to thank you for supporting my channel, as always. I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate it. And thank you for all your comments today and the thumbs ups. Robert Brandt is saying, hey, give Bruce thumbs ups. How many have I got? 26 thumbs ups today. A couple of downers, a couple of Trump supporters probably not happy with me today, but 26 thumbs ups. Thank you very much for those. Every thumbs ups helps. Thumbs downs adds to the activity level anyway. Doesn't matter. Debbie Manuel, yay trivia! Getting my butt off early so I can be there in time. Fantastic. I'm going to grab a bite to eat right now between shows so that I'm all ready to roll. And this will be my last show coming up until Monday night, unless I'm on a cruise with the Beaner on the Escape. Then the jig is up, and I'll probably have to do a show from there. But I don't think that's going to happen. Jan Jordan, thumbs ups. We're now at 28 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody. 29. Oh my God, they're coming in. Thank you for giving me thumbs ups, you guys. I see the live count going here. Thank you very much. I did see the other day the #1 video for thumbs ups, I think, is around 80. That's my all-time record for thumbs ups, is about 80. I have a bunch in the 60s and a whole bunch in the 50s, of course, and then going back. So haven't yet hit triple digits for thumbs ups. That would be a real coup for me someday. No, I have to say, I do have that many. I'm sorry. My #1 all-time video, I think, has more than 100 thumbs ups. But on a live stream, I don't think I've ever had more than 50 or 60 on a live stream. So when I get 30 or 40, we're getting into nosebleed territory for thumbs ups. Right now, someone's telling me, Cool Jazz, you got 30. Oh, thank you for that very much. I see 31 people watching right now, and I got 30 thumbs up. So thank you. If every one of you have done it, I appreciate it. If any of you could spare me thumbs ups, that would be terrific. Okay, this is Bruce with Traveling with Bruce saying thank you for watching me today on my 5 o'clock show. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. I'll see you in less than 90 minutes for Thursday night, prime time Donald Trump trivia. That should be fun. Let's let the world in on it and have a record viewing for Donald Trump trivia at 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'll be gentle. It'll be fine. And we'll have fun. All right. Ann Jordan, she's saying, yay, way to go. 31 now. And she says, you're getting thumbs ups like crazy. Thank you for that. I'm still showing 29, but my count probably is wrong. Bring popcorns there. All right, we'll do what we can. Have a good time, everybody. We'll see you at 8 o'clock Eastern. Otherwise, I'll see you on Monday on my next live stream. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.